Now, before we went on break, we were able to talk about Mr. Hill's experience about qualifying as an adoptive parent, and then you were able to shed some light on the process there at Bloom. Can you give me some more information about the programs that you offer that help parents become either foster parents or adoptive parents?
One of those programs is known as Bloom University. Bloom University is our state-of-the-art training application for our foster parents and prospective adoptive parents as well, where we're able to individually tailor the training that the foster parents will need in order to be able to welcome children into their home, because it's a new experience. You don't know what to expect. Some people have never heard the word ADHD, don't know what RAD means, or oppositional defiant disorder, or even post-traumatic stress disorder. They've heard of it, but they don't know what it looks like. So when a child enters their home, they're very unsure of how to actually work through those issues and how to help the children to acclimate and to be able to receive fully what they are needing in order to be whole while they're in their homes. With that, we have trainings offered twice a month where we have experts in the field that will come in and meet with our foster parents, even grandparents raising grandkids or adoptive parents, to specifically address what the issues are in their home, what they're going through with their children in a group setting, as well as individual, because we do have an on-site resource library where our recruitment and retention specialists will meet with our foster parents in their home individually with the children to go over individual things that the kids need to have addressed. Sometimes it's simple things like the siblings just aren't getting along and they've never had children in the home, so they're like, I don't know why they're trying to kill each other. Like, help me, help them. So we'll have resources to help them to be able to teach the kids how to share, how to get along, how to acclimate, even when you're introducing children to pets. Because some kids have never had an exposure to pets and they're afraid of dogs for something that may have happened in their past. All those things people don't think about, but those can lead to placement disruptions or the kids not feeling safe. So through our training university, we're able to offer those resources to our kids, and as well as having the impact training that he mentioned, and ongoing training opportunities, like I said, that are tailored to the individual child and family.
Now, Mr. Hill, was your experience similar to this university, or was it a little bit different?
No, this was, as she mentioned, this was what I went through was impact training, which I'm assuming is like what you're talking about is something in addition to.
In addition to, yes.
Yeah. So our impact training it's a mandatory 6-week training where it's every Saturday from I believe 9 to 1 p.m. And it's very intense where we are going through scenarios of what will you do if your child busts out your window. You know, how do you handle this, and just best practices, even how if you have like a child, your biological child, your bio child in the home, how you discipline that child versus how you would discipline a child that's placed in your home. Just those kind of scenarios.
What did you learn from that experience that you didn't know going into it? Because you had that moment, you're like, I'm ready to become an adoptive parent, but then you start taking the classes, you're getting immersed into like that world. What was your main takeaway? The most effective lesson we learned was this bit of an exercise where we have to write down the 6 most important things to us. And then they say, okay, take the most important thing you got and put it on the ground, throw it away. And so you have to throw it away. And they say, now take the next most important thing, and by the end of the exercise, we're not choosing, she's going around taking it from us. Yeah. And then you're left empty. And she says, now that's how the child feels because everything's been taken from them. And there was like this silence. Like, oh man, and that was like a reality check, because I was raised, some would say, with a silver spoon in my mouth, and it's like it's more than just providing a bed and a good home. I have to understand where this child is mentally, and I could be providing him shrimp, but what he needs is a hug. You know what I'm saying? So those classes really help you get into where the child is psychologically. So it's really
and those impact training classes are mandatory for anyone interested in becoming a foster parent or an adoptive parent in Georgia.
Oh my goodness. So how do you feel now that the process is a little bit either uncertain or on hold for right now?
Gosh, it's disheartening. I felt like I lost a life. I've been working on this for 9 months. Everyone knows about it. Family, friends, enemies, co-workers. And I honestly felt like at the moment that I told them I was in counseling, a prime example, if I was not going to counseling, my packet would be going up the process right now. But only because I passed every course. Everybody's been to my house. They've asked me, even down to my porn usage, they've asked me those questions. And I pass with flying colors, but only because I go to counseling and was honest with my counselor and, talked about things that happened to me 3 years ago, talked about my childhood, things that I would have never expected for a non-medical person to read. Because they got access to those records, I've been pegged. Not fair.
Yeah.
Now, there's appeals process for that.
Honestly speaking, it hurt me so much. I haven't even, because I'm a fighter. Now you've seen me before the show. I'm okay. I'm a piece of work, but this one has put me on my knees only because, I don't deserve it.
Well, if I could speak some encouragement into your spirit, don't give up. Because there are so many kids. There are over 14,000 kids in foster care alone. Of that, 2,500 are going to be freed for adoption. There are kids out there who need adoptive homes. And there are not a lot of people, honestly, who are willing to open their hearts and homes to kids.
Right.
And why do you think that is such a number of people? Like, there's so many children, but there's so many people in Atlanta that have a means that can take care of them. Why do you think that is the case?
Because of what you see on television and these negative stories that you hear about foster kids or you hear about the system. People don't want to be involved in all of that. They feel like it's intrusive. Just like even with your experience, you feel like you bared your soul, and here these people are saying, well, no, we don't want you. People hear stories like that over and over again, and they're like, yeah, I would like to help, but I don't want to go through all of that. So it's very difficult in my profession to go out and find these people. And when we do find them, we try our best. And at least at Bloom, I know we do our best to take care of these people because they're taking care of our kids and the ones who need it most, which is why I still would like to encourage you to keep going forward.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
From a healing perspective, since you're trying to, repair what's gone on in your childhood, what do you think you could have offered to your adoptive child?
Well, I've been lucky. I mean, at this point, I'm almost 40 years old, and I have a great job, I have a great career, I live a very good life. So I just wanted, from an equity perspective, I think that's the word I want to use, I just wanted to give a child the things that society says if you don't have, you won't be able to make it. And I just wanted to, I was handed a door. Like, I didn't have to fight, I really got lucky. And I just wanted to offer and pay forward to a child that otherwise wouldn't have it. And I still think it's a special process. I still encourage anybody that has the means and ability to do it, because imagine if you did, as soon as I heard the news, I called my parents. As soon as but there is kids out there. As a 39-year-old man, I called my parents crying.
Oh.
Imagine a 4-year-old that can't call their parents, or 5-year-old. So I say, regardless of the little 9 to 10 months of what you got to go through, if you can do it, do it. Even if it's fostering, because with fostering, it's not long term. With fostering, it's short term. So if you have an extra bedroom or a bunk bed and you have a couple of dollars, pay it forward. You never know what'll happen.
Absolutely.
So since you interact with the children, shed some light on or destigmatize the children that you work with that are so deserving of a home, either for the time being or for forever.
I think that if I had to think about children who often get the short end of the stick, it is our teenagers, Lord Jesus.
Oh, yeah.
People are so afraid of teenagers. They do not want to open their hearts and homes to these kids. They're thinking, oh, they're already set in their ways. I don't want to have, anybody, a teenage girl in here with my husband. Just anything imaginable can be thrown out there as an excuse for, no, I'm not doing anybody over the age of 12. What I will say for our kids, these are children just like we all were teenagers. We still need families. We still need someone to instill values in us, to guide us, to help us. Our teenagers, I can think of quite a few of them that we fostered through Bloom who have gone on to be successful. They came to us. One in particular was a young man. He came to us, his grandmother released him into foster care because of some horrible situations. His mom died. She just was well equipped to care for him. She left him on the street, just abandoned him. For all intents and purposes, people just saw this is a young black male. He's a teenager. I don't want him. He came into care. He was barely speaking, would not make eye contact. He had extreme issues with women. But we were able to place him with a very loving, caring foster family who saw past all of that, who got him into football, got him into a really good school system. He was able to beat all of the odds, and he's able to not just age out of foster care, sign himself out. Now he's out on his own. He's in college. He's doing well.
That's great.
He's working. He has a car. He has a girlfriend. He's stable. He's thriving. And we have a lot of stories like that, but that's not what makes it onto the news. All you hear about are the stories of the kids who didn't make it.
Well, we've got to go, but I think that we're leaving on a beautiful note, and we hope that your heart is still in the game of this process. Well, not the game, but the fight of this process.
Yes.
And I am so honored that you all were here to encourage me to think about what my future family could look like. So again, thank you all so much for being here, and hopefully everything turns around, and if it does, we'll say when it does, bring that baby in here so we can love all.
Oh, you best believe I will.
All right, thank you all once again.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all once again for watching. This is In Contact. I am your host, Kat Witherspoon. We'll see you next time.
Be informed. We gotta know what's going on in our community. So together we can make a change. You and me. Yeah. Be in contact.
Thanks to Georgia Power, we cut our energy costs by 5,400 rolls of gauze.
By 570 new library books.
Over 7,000 eggs.
Spend less on energy and put more money back into your business. Visit georgiapower.com/commercial savings.